Okay, moving on to the Zeal version with Schaefers. So same gear here. What we're doing is Schaefers, Griffins. Everything's the same as the bear video, except for we are now using Zeal as opposed to bear form. So what we did, we maxed Holy Shock, and we maxed Blessed Aim, Resist Lightning, Salvation. I put a few points here just to get 85 cold res, and then dump the rest into Zeal after VO to get roughly 10k AR. Where we're sitting around 28k Zeal damage here. We're going to go with a Zod run just to test the damage here. So it will be good because we're going to have better mobility now. We're going to hit 86 FHR. The issue is with the attack frames. We are going a bit slower here. We just can't reach the same speed, but we're at 125, 130 and 125. 160 IS is pretty unattainable here, so we're not really going to aim for that. So we don't have to do a bunch of transforms, but let's see how it goes. Sit around 26, 33 life. I could have had more life going into this, but I opted to get a little bit of dex just to hit that like 10k AR. It just felt like a good number to have. We saw in the bear videos that I was 4k we are hitting enough, but I figure since we're attacking slower, let's try to make sure we're hitting basically all the time. Is kind of the idea here. Now, if I put on the Raven again, I would get closer to, well, like 13k AR probably. But I didn't really want to go that route. I kind of wanted to keep this plus skills here, just to have more damage, just to see how it goes. I also didn't like the fact of just having cannot be frozen on the Raven and on my helm. I'd probably more opt to a Raven if I can get a 3-socket Griffins or a +1 2-socket with nice facets in there, but yeah, it's where we are, so that's kind of what we're doing. Okay, let's go in here. So as before in the earlier Zeal videos, I mean, having mobility here, definitely nice. So first phase we didn't quite get enough there. So let's just see if that was just a fluke or if it really is a bit less damage with that IS. I think how the golems are moving does prompt you to hit a bit less often. Now Schaefers, without a fanaticism, is kind of a bit of a slow weapon, and that's kind of what I'm noticing here. So we can get all the golems down. Yeah, so the golem's pretty reasonable to get down. We are going to use a little bit more pots than average since we failed on that first golem, so he did heal all the way up. We we skip the poison. I think any case where you get knocked back like that, and you see I was stuck not hitting that zeal animation, that's when you're going to fail the golems. So unfortunate there, but luckily we can just finish the fight here. Yeah, the zeal animation is really dependent on that first zeal hitting, so it's pretty critical that you do that. That's why that initial AR is nice. So I do expect this to be better after phase 1. Like the raw damage versus Stormspire or versus like the bear, it will be less, I think. But having the mobility to move around to the knights and such should make the phases a lot quicker and safer. So that's kind of where the trade-off is going to be. I think it's expected to be a slower phase 1, but the other phases should only be better. Also, I mean, if this is slightly worse, I mean, I still think there's some benefit to that because you don't have to mess around with pre-buffing as you do with the bear. I do expect this should be better than the lightsaber version, but to me, like, we're losing on some frames attacking, but having the static is pretty huge. So we're basically hitting harder, a little bit slower. Okay, let's see how it goes versus the... Of course, we get one that just runs away anyway. Yeah, the crep, I mean, never feels good on a melee. I'm sure there is a world where I, do some more charging. not as used to charge yet with the desync and potential charge bugs. Now, having a form of freezing, I think, would be something I would also do. So, you know, again, that's where the Raven is very nice. And I seem to have swapped out of the Raven, and I keep convincing myself that it's not a good idea, so not sure about that, but like I said, I think there's always room for improvement on these builds. It's not intended to be like a best in slot, you know, best showcase kind of thing. It's kind of just, as I'm learning this Paladin, we're all here together here. Um, so always open to suggestions on this kind of stuff. I really just wanted to make a few videos with the Schaefers because it's a really cool weapon to get. Having an F4 socket Schaefers is pretty rare one. So pretty cool, pretty excited for it. So I'm kind of hoping that this phase 3 is really nice. So that I can work on tweaking a few things, let's say, on the build, and maybe making this the final one I go with. I was having a lot of fun on Bear too. I don't know which version of the Bear I like better, the Stormspire or the Schaefers. They're both pretty cool. But obviously the non-Bear opens up the ability to map, so I'm kind of hoping this one works out pretty good so I can do some mapping on this while also doing some boss kills. Okay, we can see here, this is all done. I guess I will probably do a declone with this build afterwards as well. Similar to what I did for the Bear. I just need to get a few more mats, I think. I think I'm out of PS. Okay, so let's go into the third phase here. It's really frustrating when they stand near the bosses, because then your charge, or even your attack when you're in a Bear, you hit the boss sometimes, but he's immune right now, so you're not really getting any benefit there. So that was a miscount on my side. I usually never try to let that happen, is run out of pots. I'm going to be quite surprised if the Bear ends up being the better version of this. But it is possible. So it does seem like, you know, the additional mobility is quite nice, but that slower initial hit is also pretty noticeable on these knights. Now I haven't done Zeal in a while since I've been doing mostly Bear. Um, so there is a bit of getting used to this again, but I don't say it's that much that it should be making this much of a difference. So yeah, I'm a bit interested. Probably have to watch these ones back after. Be quite surprised that the Bear ends up being the better version. But I mean, it's quite possible. Okay, so that was Zod on the Zeal with Schaefer. So yeah, I'll upload this one as well.